In an exam question, you'll be given a major axis, and I'm going to use 80 today, and a minor axis. So I'm also going to use 60. So the major axis is the widest point of your ellipse, and the minor axis is the narrowest part of your ellipse. Now, whether you've got your ellipse going vertically or horizontally, you need to plan that out. You are also going to need a compass. So please get your compass ready. This is a piece of paper. This is for the Trammel method. So that's the first method that we're going to do today. So when you're doing your drawing, you need to do your center lines. So I'm going to start with that one. The horizontal line and the vertical line. And wherever you need to do that on your exam answer, you start with the center lines, okay? Then open out your compass to the radius of the minor axis. So if my major axis is going to be 60, my radius needs to be 30. Okay, so the small axis. Then again for the major axis, in this case, I've got it as 40. Okay, so they're quite close together for this one, and it really depends on what dimensions you're given. Okay, so the Trammel method, what we do here is we put our piece of paper, and I'm going to use the corner here, but you can just make a mark where the center is. I'm just going to use the corner of my paper and mark off the minor axis and the major axis and where they are. So then, this is kind of fun actually, you put the two marks that you've made on the X and Y of the center lines. You line them up nicely, and then you make a mark on the corner. Might just zoom in for this. And then you can keep moving the Trammel around, but making sure that these two marks are aligned with the center lines and marking them off. And what you'll find if you make quite a few marks is that the ellipse starts to take shape. So you should be joining up from here to here. Then it's just a matter of moving that Trammel to the next quadrant, like so, and marking it off. And you'll get the hang of it. And make 3 or 4 marks in each quadrant, enough to help you get that ellipse shape. See, as you can see, I'm starting to make little marks here. You can get really accurate with this method because you can do as many dots as you want. If I was, for example, doing my ellipse vertically, I would just make sure that when I started my ellipse, the long end was close to the long end. Do you see what I mean? When I start. So I just figure out where I need to start. So in this case, I was horizontal, and this is where I'll start if I'm vertical. Okay, so you need to identify that for yourself. Now, some exam questions will expect you to attach the Trammel to your answer sheet as well, if you've used the Trammel method. So put tape it on to your answer sheet. I know that it said that in some previous older exams. So if you've used the Trammel method, just make sure you've attached this to your answer sheet. Okay, so once you've got your dots, then you have to join up the dots. And I always start with a dashed line because I find that it's just easier to do it that way. It's up to you how you choose to do it. And you can see how the ellipse really nicely curves right round to basically 90 degrees right at the line. And you're looking to do the same thing. Okay, I'm quite happy with how that's looking. And I'll just darken that in with a solid line. You don't have to use ink in the exams, but it's really important to show your finished lines by darkening it in with the pencil at least. Okay, so this is the Trammel method. This one is a much more simple method, albeit not necessarily as accurate because you don't get as many points. So I'm going to do the center lines again. I'm going to use the same measurements. So I've got my major axis already at 40, radius. Okay, so you've got your two circles of the major axis and the minor axis. Then you will need your 30-60 set square, and you're going to divide up the circles into 12. So using 60 degrees and 30 degrees. Once you've done that, you need to identify whether you are doing a vertical or a horizontal ellipse. So for a horizontal ellipse, I'm going to drop down from my lines that I've just drawn. From the major axis, I'm going to go down. Okay, down. And then on the southern hemisphere, I'm going to go up. So just watch what I do there. And if it's a vertical ellipse, you're going to go across from the outside line. What you can do after this is try doing an ellipse in the other direction, just so you know. They should be lined up if you're nice and accurate. Okay, so I've gone down from where my line hits the exterior circle. And then
You did all the hard ones today.
From the minor axis here, you're going to go horizontally across to intersect that line from the minor axis circumference that you've drawn. Okay, so just watching that and across. So really try to understand what we're doing here with these lines. So I need to start at these 2 points. That's my minor axis, and end at these 2 points of my major axis. So I'm going to, and then this here where they intersect. So where I've dropped down from where that line hits and brought that across, that is my point. And again, where I've dropped down and come across, that is my point. Same with this side, and then the opposite. Okay, can you see that starting to form? Now again, I'm just going to join that with a dotted line. Nicely curving in to the end point. I don't want to see pointy ended ellipses